Let me just start with this. You got one more time to talk about me being unbeat versus beat.
Didn't I just say you had your game face, Tony? Was it just me?
Tony, but you know when he had me on Skype that time,
Tony,
don't even laugh at him. He was like, "Yeah, you're not looking your
Tony,
best."
you can back me up. It's up to you.
Listen, Dave. Let me say this: since the last time that we've been in the studio, I have acquired a whole host of haters. So I don't need you anymore, Dave. There are people who have clearly made a job of hating. So don't join them. You need to be a cheerleader, Dave.
Okay, hey. What is it? Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
No.
I'm talking about you.
They're new
That
cheers.
explains who you are, right? Be aggressive. Be aggressive. That's my cheer for you. There you go.
Why is it that a spouse always knows the backside slap? Like Dave came through the back door with more of the same.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Anyway.
Now, let me explain something right quick before we get started. It seems like I'm distracted. It seems like I'm
you
doing
are.
a lot of things.
You
I
are.
actually am.
It's a problem.
I forgot my login to Facebook, and I'm trying to log into the chat room here on the show, and I have no idea who the heck I am.
That is hilarious. Now, Dave, that brings a whole new meaning to geriatric. Seriously.
Yeah, no, it does. I'm telling you, I feel crazy. I can't see. I'm looking at stuff like this. It's kind of crazy.
Anyway, we're excited about today's show. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is all about transparency. We live our lives that way anyway. But we always like to set the tone. And I think that it's a perfect time right now to bring my mood song in, Tony.
Saw me on a television, but that's just the half of it. Yeah, you saw the half of it.
And then it goes on. Yeah, you know me. I'm the life of the party.
Tony, hit me with my mood song. He's back, baby. Yeah.
Except he doesn't know his Facebook login. How bad could he be? That's what I'm saying.
All right, so check this out. Now, the reason why I chose that, a lot of people are saying, in the chat room, why did you do that? My thing really is, I promised our label president, Claude Villani, president of SRG, ILS Universal Records, that I would play that song. And it has a dual meaning. That's for him on one hand, but
did he pay you? Did
Take
he pay
Six
us?
is back. Take Six is back. And we're burning up the charts, bro. We're doing it.
Okay, well, first
When
of
Angels
all,
Cry. There you go.
I will too applaud that. Yes, that means I can eventually bring high-priced steaks back into my house. Nice. Yep. Lean
Keep that a
USDA
secret. That's between
organic,
Tony and I.
Organic meat is coming back right now. No more ramen. Yes, applaud. Dave, so Claude Villani has that much weight that he just could did he pay you to?
Pretty much, yeah.
Indirectly, he did. All right, let's get to the updates. Since I've seen you guys last, oh my goodness, I went to New York a couple of weeks ago and a week and a half ago, and for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood reunion show taping. Holy moly, mother moly, holy. Sometimes you just say to yourself, I always used to say, Marla loves the kids. And Marla does love the kids, but the kids sometimes can just be a little bit too much, Tony. The kids can get out of control. Yeah, Tony.
I'll put it to you like this. Right quick, let me jump in and say this as well. People are calling in like crazy for the show, and we will get to your phone calls in about 10 minutes, we promise.
Yeah, don't. It's all good. So, this is what we like to do, and I like to remind everybody, one of the tags that we have is responsible honesty trumps brutal honesty every time. So, I believe in being responsibly honest, so much so that, and I'll get into that. That is the reason that I was prompted to invite our guest today. Just because her underlying message, even though it is funny as all hell, is really very transparent. And
is hell funny?
It could be, Dave.
I can kind of liken it to, being a piece of chicken on the grill. to us, it might seem kind of fun, but to the chicken on the grill, I'm not sure that doesn't sound too fun.
Kind of like an ant in a swimming pool. That's just a very tragic situation for the ant.
Yeah,
You'll never see the side. I kind of see what you're saying. Anyway.
Joy is calling now. Joy, we said 10 minutes.
Joy, she's not your friend. I told you, it's
she's
imaginary.
My cousin.
It's imaginary. CeeDotCee is your imaginary friend. She's your internet friend.
You're talking to Joy.
Yeah, she wrote that online. Anyway, let me move forward with our week. The most recent thing that's pretty exciting is my mom retired, and she had a retirement plan.
Let me say it, since it's kind of uncool for you to say it.
Nothing's uncool for me to say.
The VA played
Mimi.
Mimi.
They screwed my mother.
They played her.
Yes, they pushed her into retirement after 36 years of flawless service.
She held the VA together single-handedly.
She was the chief of nurses.
With her and her superhero friends, it was like a handful of them doing the do.
Right. They were directors extraordinaire.
And don't make me swing by the VA campus.
Dude, well, first of all, the security's pretty tight there. So
I'm really just talking smack. They did play Mimi though.
So anyway, someone from the VA, Greta, reached out, and a plan was put into place to surprise Mimi. We didn't even think we could pull it off. They've been working on it for almost 3 months, and it happened. It was flawless. And what I will tell you that the funniest moment of the day was when we walked into the event and they were singing for She's a Jolly Good Fellow, and Mimi was headed towards her seat singing along.
I had no idea.
She's a jolly good fellow. And I'm like, Mom, stop. You're the jolly good fellow that we're all singing about. And she was like, and she almost tried to run. But anyway, it was a magnificent event. She was awarded a proclamation from the county. And it was just a beautiful vase that has, it's inscripted, and it's just awesome. Now, Mimi, we can get on with our pole dancing, girl. We're on. It's on. It's done. You're retired. It's time to move to the next level. Music-wise, Layla Hathaway is also breaking all kinds of records with her Layla Live album that dropped about a week and a half, I think, ago. Maybe two.
Maybe a couple weeks, yeah.
So it's all over the charts. Lay, we love you. You're killing it. It's been awesome. And what about Take 6, Dave?
I just got in from Seattle. We were doing some shows up there, and we're promoting the new single, When Angels Cry. It's blowing up. We got a lot more songs to record. Not a lot, but maybe 5 songs or so to finish up the project, which will come out in March.
Well, the other thing, can I just ask one question? It's clear that you guys have pushed me to the back burner for 28 years, but Carol seems to have some singing talent. Is there any chance that she might be able to be the 7th member of Take 6?
Oh, I didn't know where you were going with that one, but Take 6 is kind of special. No shade, Carol. No shade. But
he's shading you. Trust me, honey. He is shading you right now.
That's not shade. That's Marla trying to pin me in the corner. I don't go into the corner very well.
A dark cloud just came over Carol's seat.
Anyway, when we come back, we are going to be talking to Carol, better known as CeeDotCee, internet sensation. Her videos are off the chain. And I just want to see if she can be that funny in person.
David, don't pressure her. She needs to be herself. Get off her back.
Pressure's on. And we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. You're listening to the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network. Current events, pop culture, the hot topics of the day. It's time for Mad News on the Marla and Dave radio show. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
All right, you know what time it is. It's time for the Mad News. Here's what's popping. Before we go to the first thing, I just have to remind everybody how we do the news. There's always the Are You Kidding Me segment of the news, which is just some shocking news like what the what?
Yeah.
And then the he said, she said, which this is hilarious.
Now, we had to actually change the Are You Kidding Me? We were going to go with the guy falling from the cruise ship.
No.
We were going to.
Are you kidding me? What has changed is he said, she said. Okay, I write the news. Dave's going to participate. That's Dave with the Marla and Dave show.
The thing is, Marla put an update out there. I probably pulled up the wrong document. That's probably
Remember,
true.
this is the man who can't remember his Facebook login. Keep that in mind.
So, man, I'm having a bad day. What is this? Marla, take it away. Hurry up.
Okay, here we go. Are you kidding me? The Oasis of the Sea is one of the largest cruise ships. Now, I don't really know what kind of fight would prompt a man on a 17-story ship to try to come out of his cabin and try to leap onto a lifeboat? Because even if you got into the boat, you weren't going anywhere. So what were you going to do? Like, give yourself a timeout and just like lay in the bottom of the lifeboat? I don't get it, but whatever it is, we'll never know, because unfortunately, as several of the guests caught this video on camera on their phones, he failed to get into the doghouse or the lifeboat. And he was saying, "Don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me." And so, okay, as you would have it. And he fell off the beam and flew into the water, and he's never to be seen or heard from again. His head was bleeding.
Yeah.
Now, what I really wanted to know when I saw that is, did somebody punch him in the head, or did he hit his head when he jumped?
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Anyway, and you know what else is sick? It's one of those things where you don't really, because you're a sane person, you don't like that kind of like tragedy, but I couldn't look away. And I played him falling into the water many times. What, Tony? Am I okay? I'm not. Okay, I thought so. Thank you for confirming. Let's move on to our he said, she said.
Well, the he said, she said, like I was saying earlier, we had to change it, and we had to go with the insane Marla, help
outing.
me out. I'm trying to figure out.
Outing.
Oh my God.
Outing.
Oh my God. Okay,
Vivica Fox goes on with Andy Cohen and
Watch What Happens Live, and she was with Andy Cohen and the other girl from
Candy
the Love and Hip Hop, Candy
Burris.
not Love and Hip Hop, the
Real Housewives.
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Dave.
Sorry, I'm trying to look at this document, quite honestly, you sent me. It's
Dave,
in like
honey,
minuscule font.
Well, you should blow it up, but honey, you're a singer, sweetie.
I'm really trying to.
Okay.
I'm really trying. Anyway.
You're really good at it, too.
I had to let Marla in on this secret, which apparently wasn't a secret to anyone but Marla. Vivica A. Fox calls out 50 Cent.
And calls him gay.
And basically, she doesn't really call him gay.
No, she did.
No, she didn't call
him
gay.
They referenced being gay, and
she
they said
implied that he was gay.
Someone talked about something gay, and she said, I would say, I'm asking, is this the pot calling the kettle black? Now, that's what her quote was on this interview.
Okay, Marla, I'm going to try to help you out again.
No, don't help me.
She did say the pot calling the kettle black.
In
Don't
reference
get me wrong.
to what someone else said directly about being gay.
But what she was really saying is...
And I think she said something about eat your booty like groceries. Okay. I think that...
All right, Marla's just going to put it all out there. And she did say all those things, but context is very important here. Because when she got busted on the couch, she was sitting there in the chair, and they were like, what?
And
what?
She also...
Vivica A. Fox, what are you saying? And then Candy Burris says, are you saying that he's gay? No.
She didn't
I'm
say
not
no.
saying that. She did say
no. She said,
no.
well, and she flipped her hair.
And then she came back because they were basically saying, then what were you doing with them? And she tried to backtrack. I don't even know how she was going to get out of that.
She said sometimes you feel like you don't know if you're dating the manager.
But I will say this. I'm not sure that Fitty helped his case when he came back and said...
Fitty?
Fitty, yeah. I'm not sure that he helped his case when he came back and said, well, she was licking my you-know-what. And at the time, I was tied up. She was forcing me to have my booty hole licked. Really? Really?
David,
really, Fitty?
Can I say this, though, before we go forward?
The gangster is being held down and forced against his will by Vivica A. Fox.
Let me say this. And
I don't know. That doesn't help the case as far as I'm concerned.
Dave, before you and I make headline news, I just want to say this. I just want you to close your eyes for a minute and imagine a really hot day, and your sphincter just needs some cooling relief. And here I come, and there it is. It's just up. You're stretching. You're doing yoga. I walk in.
I'm butt naked doing yoga on my back.
Yeah. And you're in downward dog. You're welcome.
That must be a very hot day.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so I don't know. I don't know about that.
Let's quickly
you tell me.
Let's quickly go into our agree to disagree. Let's talk about Dr. Ben Carson. Is he telling the truth or is he caught in a lie?
As far as I'm concerned, I think it's a little bit of both. He doesn't quite remember the past as he should.
Well, then you should shut up about it.
Hey, well, he's running for president. I don't think
I'm not voting.
A candidate for president ever shuts up.
Well, here's my problem. I think that he's... shut up.
Anyway, Marla, we're out of time for this segment.
I'm
sorry.
He's shifty. What do you say?
I say it's media spin, and, he's just getting a little old. Anyway, we're going to get back to the show.
Back to the show.
This ain't your mama's radio show. Can you handle the truth? Then get ready for a real radio experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Marla and Dave.
The show.
All right, 323-284-7826. You've already been calling in. Now we're ready to talk to you.
Now.
We weren't ignoring you, but we kind of were.
Not now.
But you know what? So now we're in studio with CeeDotCee.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Woohoo! It's Carol's turn. What's up, Carol?
What up?
So now, how would you like for us to refer to you as Carol, CeeDotCee?
I prefer CeeDotCee, C dot, anything but Carol.
Okay.
Anything but Carol.
You don't like your name?
You mad at your mama?
It's-
You mad at your mama?
No. That's actually my grandmother's name.
Ah.
Stop it, David. I'm a bully. Look who's the bully.
Okay. CeeDotCee. CC. We got you. We got you.
So let me ask you this. Your birth name is Carol. You said that you were named after your grandmother, obviously.
Yeah.
So how did you get to CeeDotCee? Where'd that come from? I know you're saying CC, but we all now know you because of your internet presence as CeeDotCee. What
Yeah.
started that?
Well, it's just simply my initials. My name is Carol Cox, so C.C.
Okay, I'm going to put a pin
Wait a
in that.
minute. I didn't think you were asking that seriously like that. I mean, that's quite obvious.
Dude, just because you have more cerebral space in your forehead right there, I don't think I have to ask that. She's
Well,
sitting
this
right
is
here.
the first time that you made that link that the less space implies less intelligence. Anyway,
Here's what I want to say. I want to put a pin in it because when we finally made contact on the phone, you said that your last name was Cox. My mother is seated here today as our one lone audience participant in a show that doesn't have an audience, and her maiden name is Cox. You then said to me, which you can feel free to ask that question again, we're going to try to figure out how we might possibly be related.
ooh.
I asked you,
Did we have family in...
are they in the southern region?
And my mom said the east... In the east. But the reason
Wait,
I
Southern
even...
California or
No,
No,
like
no,
the
like-
South.
in the South?
Deep
What?
Alabama, Mobile.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
Well, the reason I even asked that as well is because I saw you, the picture that you have online, you also have a very curly grade of hair,
Yes.
which my father was actually a slave, so he worked in the field.
Can I interrupt you guys? We got a caller on the line. Caller, go. You're on the air with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee.
CeeDotCee.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's up? Welcome to the
Hey.
Marla and Dave Show. First of all, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Jennifer. I'm calling from Miami, Florida.
Hi, from Miami. How are you? Who would you like to address a question to or make a comment about right here on the Marla and Dave Show? You are live.
CeeDotCee.
What's up?
Hi. I watch you for like a while now.
Oh, thank you.
What's your favorite video?
yeah.
What's your favorite video that CeeDotCee has out there?
What's it called? I think the latest Love and Hip Hop reunion review.
Oh, really? You like that one? Thank you so much.
Yeah, 'cause she kills me, especially with the Nicki impression when she puts the
the
Mikey
little
cover on her
microwave
face. I cry every time she puts it on it. I cry every time.
You know, sometimes I just have to improvise. I do my videos in my kitchen, and so that's the first thing I can think of that's plastic. It's the first thing I see. So I was like, I'm gonna put this on my face. Maybe. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question. How's your experience at FAMU?
My experience at FAMU, for those of you who don't know, I went to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. I had the time of my life. FAMU, going to a black college, going to a HBCU, it's nothing like that experience. So if you're thinking about going, how old are you?
I'm 19 right now.
Oh, okay. Well, are you in school?
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm in the 2 year, and I'm transferring in the fall.
Okay, cool. So do you want to go to FAM?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, get in there. You're going to love it. FAM is a great school. I highly encourage it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for calling us and keep watching.
Now
All
we
right.
have to bounce to another quick phone call if that's okay. And then we'll get into some conversation.
What's up?
You're on the air with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee.
Yes, this is Sandra Willis. I am customer service for Spirit Airlines.
Hilarious.
And I saw
Okay. This has to be Joy.
YouTube video
This
that
has to be
said
Joy.
you didn't want to ride on our airline anymore, and I'm calling to offer you 3 free tickets on Spirit Airlines.
All right, you clear?
Yeah, no thanks, Sandra.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, no thanks, Sandra. We hate your
Clearly, this is a
airline
joke.
so much.
That we don't even want your
that
free
we don't
tickets.
even want your free tickets.
How about that? Because you're just going to turn around and charge us at the end of the day. We
you
know how it works.
You give us
Now,
a free
I will
ticket.
say that the free ticket is with the purchase of 25 squares of toilet paper.
Oh, no.
Which are at least $100 each. So yeah, no
Hilarious.
thanks.
Yeah, that's called the
crazy.
reverse rebate, bait and switch. Goodbye.
Well, Marla.
Yes, Joy.
Hi, friends. My family and my imaginary best friend.
This is this is for everybody listening who did a very poor job of trying to actually bait us and attract us into an offer that doesn't exist. This is my cousin Joy Silman calling from Texas. She thinks that she and CeeDotCee are best friends just from the internet. Her life is pretty sad, but I love
I
it.
did. Didn't I tell you that on Instagram,
I read that
Cece?
comment. Absolutely.
I did, right?
Yeah.
See, I told Marla, I said, hey, Cece, we're best friends in my head. She's hilarious. She makes me crack up. I feel like I've known her my whole life. So I had to let her. She said, you actually told her that? I said, yeah, I told her that.
That's okay. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
By the way, Cece, you're getting a ton of love in the chat room. You can't. It's actually my computer, Marla
Well,
Dave
the
family.
issue
so
is
I'm,
I can't even log into the
and,
chat room
and
right now.
Dave
So
can't
Marla
even
has
see
to
the
hold
chat
it
room
down.
because he's old. So right now I'm kind of controlling the situation.
I can see it. I just can't have a conversation.
But
with the
there's a
peeps.
lot of FAMUs. Let me see.
Hey,
You got Philonda Bradley says, "Hey, CeeDotCee, look at you doing your thing, girl."
Hey, Philonda.
So a lot of love. Carla J, the chat room is full. We're glad that you guys could all join us. There we all are right there. So there you go. So anyway.
So Joy, thanks for calling. And we hope that one day you get to meet your best friend.
All right. I hope
In
maybe
person.
I should make her a shirt. I don't know. Does she need some branding? What does she need?
I
Oh,
think
you
that's
let me know.
right.
That's
Joy
what she
has
does
all
for
the
a living.
bling.
She's magnificent.
I will be happy
Beauty
to wear
and the
whatever
bling.
you
Check
send
that
me.
out on Instagram.
Okay, definitely.
All right.
Thank
There's
you.
a
All
hookup.
right, y'all. Talk
right.
to you later.
All
Bye,
right,
Joy.
Thanks for calling. Bye. Now, before we get to another phone call, you mentioned that you went to FAMU. Did you study filmmaking or acting or anything like that?
My bachelor's degree is in theater,
Okay.
so I studied acting there.
Okay.
But no film. No, film was just something I kind of picked up. Vlogging, working with the camera, editing. I've been on YouTube, I guess, since about 2008.
Okay.
And I really liked editing, and I just liked being creative.
Right.
So that's how I really got started. Those videos are long gone. I used to do like music videos, crazy things.
Okay.
They're gone now. But I just got into the comedy style of what you see today, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. And so that was just in you. And so one thing kind of collided with another thing, and it just became kind of a natural marriage.
Sure.
But when I look at your content, what's interesting is most of your content is of a review nature.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the things that I wanted to talk about as well, how you got inspired to go down that road. Like, it's not, and of course I found you because this season being on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, people, number one, are always sending you things. But then I was like, you know what? I'm always wanting to see some of the reviews that are out there and what's really being represented by the young filmmakers in a particular way. Sure. And she just fell into my den, and I think the first thing I did was run down and...
You were probably one of the first ones that I could actually watch the whole thing. Because a lot of the video blogs out there are so... I hate to say it like this, but they seem so uneducated.
Let me...
Just straight up ghetto.
Beyond...
Not that there's anything wrong with living in the ghetto.
Okay, the way, first of all, you said fitty, and now you're saying ghetto with so much enunciation.
I'm
it's not
sorry.
right.
It just seems like, they can't speak. It's as if they never were taught proper syntax, English, anything. It's just like,
okay,
what?
it's a review. But that's not what my point is. My point was, And I'm going to say this because as a filmmaker, I want to give you this plus. If you don't get me in the first 30 seconds, I'm out.
You have no attention span.
Not even that. I don't even want to. I don't want to even watch you. Like if what you're saying and your presentation doesn't grab me, I probably, Tony, have seen 100 reviews. Only one that I actually visit and look forward to and I watch, because some of them are, hey, so let's talk about Moniz and it's almost like you're not even it's like you can have this conversation by yourself, inside yourself, and please, it's like I don't even get it. Like the backgrounds are crazy, and it just isn't enough energy, and that's the one thing I think people forget.
Well, that's actually, I can kind of credit that to my studies and going to school. They teach us that in acting, when you're auditioning, more so auditioning, you need to grab the casting directors, and at least as soon as you walk in the door, really,
right.
But if you're going to start that monologue, you need to get their attention in the first 10 seconds. So I try to portray that in my videos. And like you said, there are many people out there who do reviews and recaps. But and because of that, I have to separate myself. So that's why I bring my energy. I bring my editing. I bring my voices. I bring crazy things like putting a microwave cover on my face.
Now, do you have anybody which is probably one of the funniest things?
Wait, I have another question to follow up, though, because, see, you're so hilarious, and I'm glad that you said that, you're really into editing.
Yeah.
Do you find that you're just funny all the time, or do you find that the way you put it together actually makes it even more funny?
The editing definitely enhances it.
Okay.
But right. The way when I'm improvising, that's.
I'll put it to you like, were you the class clown?
No, I'm very quiet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually an introvert.
And that actually makes sense to me. Because Dave, you feign the same thing. You would
Are you kidding me? No, I'm joking. I am the same way.
I am an extrovert to the max. He is an introvert.
No, I can tell.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, I know. You got
well, before we go to a break, we have another phone call on the line. You guys are calling off the hook.
Keep the calls coming. Hey, what's up?
You're on with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee.
Hello.
Why don't you tell us your name and tell us where you're calling from?
Hi, Marla. How are you? My name is Raymond, and I am calling from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hi, Raymond from Raleigh, North Carolina. How are you? What can we do? What can we do for you today? Do you have a question or a comment for either of us, or all three of us, or maybe Tony?
I actually have a comment for CeeDotCee.
Okay.
I feel absolutely horrible because I think I text you maybe 2 days ago, and I said, hey, my name is Ray, and I was thanking you for your channel and everything. I told you, hey, because I was laxy daisy about my YouTube channel, and I was like, thank you for making YouTube channels and doing videos, and I was telling her how that had helped me in my process, because before I really wanted to do YouTube and I was kind of scared, and so now she prompted me to do it, and I wanted to thank her because I told her before, I said people don't understand that comedy and music, those are the things that people kind of really only have when they're going through stuff, and I wanted to thank you for making me laugh and giving me hope. I want to thank you so much.
Can we get a clap on that, Tony?
Oh my God!
If we had a kiss, we'd give you a kiss, because to me, that's really what it's all about. Absolutely. And I'm not even trying to be funny. So I really appreciate you calling in. And I think a lot of the times people don't realize when they're in the midst of doing what it is they were gifted and talented to do, that they're touching other people. Just your purity of talent is actually encouraging a soul. And you may never know that, so I'm glad that he took the time to let you know.
Thank you, Raymond.
And I want to say I love you, Marla.
Okay, well, don't get in trouble, because, Marla will put you in timeout.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Raymond. Excuse me, Raymond. I'm sitting right here. I hear you, Raymond.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Dave is joking,
but
sometimes he needs a little love. Dave needs a little love.
No, I'm saying that's my wife that you're talking to, Raymond. So you're loving on my wife. I'm sitting right here. No, I'm just playing. No, she deserves the love.
Come back when I have CeeDotCee co-host with with me. She doesn't even know that's coming, but it is.
Thank you so much
Look
for
at
calling,
God.
Raymond. Keep listening to the
Thank
show
you,
and keep
Raymond.
checking out CeeDotCee.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Man, that's awesome. There's also a lot of really cool comments. Somebody says the CeeDotCee is the funniest female that I've seen in years. She actually made me watch the shows that you review. I'm always waiting on what you have to say. Super funny.
Nice.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
She also, I'm glad that any plastic surgery I have is very subdued and like secondary, because it would hurt my feelings if CeeDotCee were talking about me and she had a big plastic microwave cap on her face.
Now,
It would be
the
hurtful.
people in the chat room are saying, did you say that you have a channel on Instagram? No, you have a YouTube channel, right?
Those people,
YouTube channel.
A YouTube. What did I just say?
Channel on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, well, that's what they were asking in the chat room.
You can get him, CC. Go ahead. I won't stop
That's
you.
what they were saying. Do you
You
have
can
a channel
clown
on Instagram? I'm trying to figure out where that came from.
Well,
But you have a YouTube channel.
I have a YouTube channel. I have an Instagram. I have a Snapchat. I have a Twitter.
All right, so tell them your YouTube channel.
Okay. YouTube channel is CeeDotCeeTv.
That's where you can find her, Sandra. We expect you to be a subscriber in 5,
4,
4,
3, 2,
1. We
We'll
are
be-
talking to CeeDotCee, and we are having a good time.
When we come
you guys
back-
are flooding the phone
When we
lines.
come back, it's time for us to get into some real talk about love and hip-hop Hollywood. Don't move. We want your questions. Call in 323-284-7826.
26 years of marriage from two unique perspectives equals 52 years of relationship experience. It's time for Ask Marla and Dave. Answers to your questions about life, love, and relationship based on Marla and Dave's real life experience. It's about to get real. Ask Marla and Dave.
All right, it's time for Ask Marla and Dave, and I'm still confused. I can't pay attention. I'm unfocused. I got calls all over my screen. I'm trying to get into the chat room to talk to you.
Dave, you can't afford to be
I
away,
can't
bro.
log in. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, Moniece Huffman. Now there's a caveat here, and I'm gonna get to it in a minute. Moniece Huffman writes in and says, "Hello, I write music. I haven't really recorded anything because I'm trying to get on my feet, get a job, and move to the ATL. Do you think I should give up music and just focus on getting on my feet? I'm 17
And just trying to make it.
and just trying to make it.
Advice.
Your advice. Now, first of all, do you get on your feet at 17? Get back on your feet at 17? Have you ever gotten on your feet when you're just 17 for the first time
First
ever?
of all, Dave, you don't know anything about a hard knock life. And
I
a
might
lot of
not.
people.
I might not. But 17, Marla? Really?
I moved out at 18. I had Moniece at 19.
I said 17.
Okay.
Where were you at 17?
At 17 years old, I was in college
And where were you living?
in the dorm, Peterson Hall.
Okay. And who was taking care of you?
They were feeding me veggie meat at Oakwood, HBCU. That's what was happening. I was getting
Well,
fed veggie meat. out of the
Anyway,
cafeteria.
my point is I'm having a hard time, but if you are real, Moniece Huffman, in which I also think is a little ironic
Okay, look,
that your name is Moniece.
Let me just shut you down. You're struggling today. Here's
I
the
am.
deal. Whether you're 17 or not, this is a great conversation and a great topic because the question I really hear her asking, and Moniece spelled Moneyce.
Money, C-E.
Money C, which is Moniece. I think that you should focus on being rooted in something solid. And it's interesting because we have CC or CeeDotCee here, and what she first said is she went to FAMU. So the thing is, as you become a creator, remember this, and I'm going to say this once and for all, entertainment is just that. It's entertainment. And in most cases, people who are gifted are expecting other people to pay for their art. But it is art. So if you have to have something solid, that comes with an education, that comes with a career. Always have something solid to stand on. Make that your focus and make creativity your gift.
Now, as a musician, if this is for real, as a musician, I would tell you this. Your foundation, like Marla said, is way more important than even recording anything. If you can't actually pay for your next meal, you don't need to be in the studio.
And what you'll
I
find
promise
is
you on that.
you'll stop creating. A person who's
Yeah.
starving will have a very hard time being funny. CeeDotCee cannot put that plastic thing on her face if she cannot put a fork to her face and feed it. So I'm saying.
Anyway, so Moniece, if you're real, I apologize. But for anyone listening, the advice is still good. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Marla Marla and Dave radio show. Marla and Dave want to talk to you. Phone lines are open at 323-284-7826. 323-284-7826.
Let's get right to it. Let's open this up with a phone call. We got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Marla and Dave show with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee. Welcome to the Marla and Dave show. What's your name and where you calling from?
My name's Savon. I'm calling from Duval, Jacksonville, Florida.
Have you slept with this man? Why are you laughing?
There's a little connection there.
Why are you laughing?
I see a little connection there too.
What, CeeDotCee, what?
We went to college together.
Did you sleep with this man,
I
CeeDotCee?
did not.
Okay. All right.
No.
I just want to. Okay.
Calling your chastity onto the table.
Listen. I'm a vibe reader. This man said his name. She lit up. She threw her head back. I'm talking about what I see. If you're in my studio, then you're feeling what I'm feeling.
No,
Introduce
I'm not
us to
feeling what
your
you're feeling. No.
Introduce us to your friend.
This is Servon. We went to college together. What's up?
What's up, Servon? Turn your volume down a little bit.
I'm proud of her.
Thank you.
I'm real proud of her.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're clearly you know what? Tell us one thing about CeeDotCee from your college days that she would not want us to know. Look, she's cringing. I love this conversation.
Yeah, this is a little spooky.
Nah. I don't think she has anything like that. I can't say one good thing though.
That was cool.
She has a lot of drive.
A lot of drive. That's
She has a
good
lot of drive. She's very determined.
All right. Good looking out.
Thanks, Steve.
Well, I'm glad you called, and I'm glad that you are supporting, and I'm glad that you are a continued friend. That's always good to see, too. Tells me a lot.
Absolutely.
When people move forward in
Most
life.
definitely. See, you got to keep it going.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, she has to now, because now I'm going to be knocking on her door. She messed up.
Yeah, she got to keep it going. I'm looking for what's going to happen next.
Yeah, that's that. We're going to get into that a little bit later on. Thanks for calling us, man.
I'm watching. I'm listening.
Thank
All right,
you.
cool. All right, so we got a full chat room. We got phone calls coming.
Marla, guess what?
What?
I'm in the chat room.
No, whatever.
Boom,
Dave.
CeeDotCee. Dave's in the chat room. Now, you might not recognize me. It says UBN admin. Tony gave me the UBN login.
He's in as an imposter.
Yes,
I love it.
When you see UBN
Liar.
admin, that's actually me.
What the hell? Anyway, you know what I'm going to do right now, CeeDotCee? I'm going to do something that maybe your fans will appreciate. You have us captive. And more in particular for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood fans, you have me captive. I'm going to let you speak for the fans. You can ask me anything you want.
Ooh.
Go for it. Anything you want, I'll answer it. Anything. As long as it's about me. If I can't, let me say this.
I'll answer.
There's
I
another
can say
thing.
anything.
And I can't, let me say this, because of my contractual obligation, what I cannot say, I cannot discuss future storylines with you guys because I can't. Even if there's, and I'm gonna be honest, there's, whatever we know, you don't really know it till you know it. You know what you film, but you don't know what they're gonna air. Let me say that. But outside of that, my friend, what can I do for you?
Well, I'd like to know why is it that you and Moniece don't have that motherly vibe? And I was thinking that maybe it was sometimes it's kind of the way the mother is raised, and that's how she's like. That's how
there's my mother.
I
so.
know. No, I'm just saying.
We're calling Mimi out today. So
well, let me say this. Let me answer the first question without any leading. So the question I'm going to answer right now is, why does it appear that Moniece and I do not have that motherly connection?
Right.
Every child is born their own individual.
Right.
Moniece is a very complicated human being. She's been complicated from the day she breathed. Matter of fact, I'm not even trying to be funny. Moniece was due February 21. She didn't get to the earth until March 4th because that was just going to be what she was going to do. Sure. But furthermore, there's an emotional complexity there that doesn't always connect fully. And when I say connect, what I mean is it doesn't matter what you want for your children. You tend to shift and accommodate what they need and who they are. And so Moniece needs us when she needs us, but Moniece is not a cuddly.
Not at all.
She's not that person.
I got you.
So and with that, I am a very strong personality. So one of the things that I can say truthfully is my goal in Moniece's life when Moniece started to grow up, regardless of what was difficult, what I saw in that little girl was enormous potential. Moniece is probably one of the most talented people that I have ever met. When she was in high school, she made tie-dye T-shirts. They wanted to carry her line on Melrose, but the minute she started, she was done. Mm-hmm. So we've always been pushing her, and I think that's part of what you see, that finally she also has a tendency to want to come back. She hasn't taken full responsibility for all of her life and all of her choices. Yeah. So that makes it difficult because the minute she's open, I'm always running through the door to try and help.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I think I might be able to answer it a little bit more succinctly than Marla. Moniece doesn't like criticism.
I see.
That's a huge thing for her, and she's very sensitive when it comes to criticism. But as a parent, you have to sort of constructive criticize. Constructive criticism is how you teach. This is wrong. Do it this way. So she gets the feeling of you're always saying something's wrong with me, and she's very sensitive to that. But, it's just something that goes with parenting.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, I'll say this as well, because we're on TV, everyone's focused on the Marla-Moniece relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm the mother of 3 children.
Right.
And so no one ever hears about any controversy with Lexi, who's a Syracuse grad, who's a lead producer for WJCL ABC News. Exactly. Or my son, who's a gifted, talented musician.
Well, actually, if you give him the opportunity, would hug and kiss his mother around the
Which
clock.
Those of you who Periscope me understand that. It's a joke.
It's a little sad. But
they're like, okay. He's like, but Mom, but your face, it smells so good. I'm like, dude, you're 26. Seriously, you got to get off me. But so that's the thing.
And so will Moniece from time to time when she wants to.
Yeah. Right. What else? So that hopefully that opens that up just a little bit.
Yeah, but let me just say this, though. The one thing that I have to say about it is, and I put this online the other day, and I almost had to, go off on somebody, but I restrained myself. Sure. Moniece was raised not by both of us, not just Moniece. Now, not just Marla. And she has nothing but praise for being in the house with me. Mm. It's the same house. Mm-hmm. It's the same family.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we got married when she was 1. So David has been raising Moniece as her father literally for 27 years. So she was our oldest child of 3. Okay. And we don't even use step, but now clearly reality TV is
I'm mad at Moniece because Moniece said step. Her damn self. Anyway.
Sorry, Nana.
We have a call on the line. Let's get to it right quick.
Hi, caller. You're on with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee right here on the Marla and Dave Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Annie Bernard calling from Long Beach, California, and I'm looking at my niece, CeeDotCee. I'm her auntie.
It's family.
Hi,
well, yes.
We just wanted to know. Dave and I are signing up. She's such a lovely young lady that if you guys need her to be co-adopted / familied, we're willing. We'll sign up on the list.
We have some Coxes over here too. But I have a question for you, Auntie. Now, was she a gregarious young child? How was she when she was young? Did you see this potential at an early age?
No, not really. She was the cutest little thing and lovely. I just recognized her when she went away to college, how determined she was, and her head was on straight, and I was so proud. She just went right through college and very serious then. And I'm very proud. We're very proud of her. Her Uncle Bob and I are very proud of her.
Oh, I love you guys. Thank you so much, Aunt Annie. I love you.
Oh, I love being a part of the family moment. Do you actually ever cook? Because I live close, not too far. I could just swing through just, from time to time. I just, Okay. All right. Well, thanks for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye, sweetie.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
All right. So any other questions for Marla?
How did you really feel when Lil Fizz started to break down and cry? Did you want to laugh?
No, I didn't want to laugh. I was shocked. Let me say this. I'm gonna say 2 things. Actually, I'm gonna blow your mind on this one. When Drew broke down crying, number one, I truly understood his frustration because again, you and I can say this: you're not able to. There's no way Love and Hip Hop can show you the length of a full scene. But Drew's frustrations have been mounting over the years. And that scene took place the Tuesday after Mother's Day, which was the rant in an Instagram blow up between he and Moniece, where at that point he had already begun having to literally defend himself against hundreds of thousands of fans when Moniece put his number online. So I was literally, my daughter graduated from Syracuse. When I landed, I shot. I landed on Monday, I shot that scene on Tuesday. And so at that point, he was really overwhelmed. I understood why he was overwhelmed. And why when he started crying, what you saw me blinking was like, wow, because a lot of thoughts were going through my mind. When they were dating, we told them not to go down this road. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's the first thing.
I was almost mad.
David was furious. He knew that at least from everything we were discovering, that at best Moniece was not ready to be a mother. We don't know him that well, but that was going to be a load. So we said, do not, before he was even conceived. So you took this on knowing and being warned by her family to keep it moving, kick rocks, keep going. So that was kind of the issue for me in the back of my mind. So my thing is, now you've done it, and like the rest of us as parents, you have to do what it takes. You know, so it's not, that's what you kind of, the stoic emotion is. I've been through so much emotion with them over the last 7 years that I'm like, okay, all I want to do is for the baby to be okay. This is, honestly, it's kind of not about you. It's kind of not about Moniece. It really, and only as it relates to the baby. Because there's one innocent factor in this entire picture, and it is Cameron. That's it. That's all I'm caring about at the end of the day. I'm sad you're sad, and I don't want you to be the victim, but it is what it is. And the next thing is, I'm furious with Drew, and he doesn't understand that yet, but he will, because Marla's not supporting Moniece is probably one of the most blatant lies that I've ever, including him. So when you go there and you have a green screen, you have the opportunity to speak on past a scene. You're filming this past what you've done in a scene, and it's just you responding to a question. You can be honest. So whether you have a take on what I've said or not, I've been honest. You understand what I'm saying? So to me, that was misleading on his part. I don't care about Rich, but Moniece and Drew, with all we've been to together, you know better. They're family, so you know better. You know what we've done and what we've been, even still. Mm-hmm. So that kind of makes me feel like, you know, I got one victim. I can't do the double victim. So that's how I feel about that.
I understand.
What else? Guys.
Well, let me make a comment on that as well. See, the other part about it is that we love Moniece so much that we are willing to do things that seem difficult to most people for Moniece's sake. Now, Moniece is a mother of a lovely young man. We love our grandson to death. And the bottom line is this: when the custody arrangement was that Moniece and Cameron were with us during her weeks, after a while, he started looking at us as his authority, which for me is unhealthy, you know, when you have parents. You know, he even mentioned, he called me dad a couple of times. And I'm like, oh, come on,
that's my
bro.
dad. We're like, no,
yeah, come on, man.
I'm Pappy.
No. He tried to get them together, but in our house, he's with us, and when his mother tells him something to do, he doesn't obey. He waits for Marla or I to be the authority. And after a while, that wasn't healthy. And so we had to say, okay, now we need to help Moniece grow to the next level and get your own situation and get your custody with your son so that you become his mother, right, without a question. And not that she wasn't his mother, it wouldn't be a question for him, right, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I did not know that. That's deep.
See, now she's like, okay, so now, oh no.
So that's deep because, they, Love and Hip Hop, they edit whatever they want to edit. They put in whatever they want to put in. So we don't really get to see and hear about these things that are going on behind the scenes.
Don't get us wrong. Those things that we say, we told Moniece and Drew to do everything legally, take each other to court, because it's not about the two of them, it's about the baby. So if Marla and I get in an argument when our kids are little, and I say, well, I don't want to pay you, your child support, God forbid that we had broken up, then it's not about whether I want to or not. I have to take care of my kids. The court mandates. That's the way it should be.
And one of the things, by the way, that Drew at the moment was most passionate about was his repeated attempts to encourage Moniece to have a financial base to take care of the baby. Mm-hmm. So at that point, financially, I'm saying, I've heard it even in the scene 5 or 6 times. I'm like, look, take your ass to court. The same thing I would have said to her and have said to you both. Because in reality, you chose not to be a married couple. So you're 2 single people taking care of a baby, and who can force a human being to be present?
No,
you cannot.
What we can say is, as parents, and any parent can say this, there are going to be many times through any parent's life raising children that you're going to be hella frustrated. Mm-hmm. And so out of that frustration, a lot of behavior can, you can be motivated to do things that you wouldn't necessarily want to do. And so that's why you need the court to mediate the back and forth, the passions that ebb and flow between parents that are no longer living together or in love with each other.
And then, because the baby deserves whatever he can get, period.
He deserves it all from both parents.
And if I can't force you, if I said, CeeDotCee, right now, I don't care what you say, we're going across the street. I can't drag you across the street. But if I bring police here and you have actual authority and force, I can escort you, guaranteed, across the street, or you suffer the consequence.
Right.
Bottom line. So I also say this to the listeners. I'm a common sense person, and I say this often. If it is a fine to throw your trash on the street for $500, why do you think it's a crime to not pay child support when you have a baby? Because you've created a responsibility that should not lie on society. Right. That's why it's a crime, Rich Dollars. That's why it's a crime.
Teach.
Bottom line, that's what it is. So if you want to know why you had a mugshot and you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, that's why. Ouch. It was a crime.
You feel some type of way, Marla?
Nope. I'm good. Nope, I'm good. Where's my water?
You sense that too, huh?
You feeling
I'm
some type
good.
of way?
Where's the plastic? I need the plastic on my face right about now. I'm good.
Anyway, we're going to get back to some of your phone calls. You guys are flooding in as usual. Last question.
You got something? Don't be afraid of the music, girl. Speak.
Oh, okay, I was going to ask you how important is it to you to give tough love? Is it more important to give tough love or just that nurturing support when you're being a parent?
Okay.
And that's for both of you.
And we're going to hold that question.
We're going to answer that when we come back from this next break. We'll be back. Don't move.
It's time for the Marla and Dave Doghouse. Marla has something that should put Dave in the doghouse. Dave has something that should put Marla in the doghouse. You decide who gets a biscuit and who gets busted and ends up in the doghouse.
Yeah, I can already sense I'm going down today. I kind of I haven't been myself today. I've been out of sorts. I'm not going to make any excuses that I actually woke up at like 3:00 this morning to get here for you guys.
But whining.
I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm flustered. I couldn't get into the chat room. Every time I type, it says admin instead of Dave.
Now he's an imposter.
Man. Anyway, Marla sent this document at font 6. And I'm trying to blow it up and read it, and I have it up at 75.
Do you have a doghouse offense? Because I got you.
Go ahead and get started.
The reason that Dave is going into the doghouse is very simple. When I left to go to New York to film Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Dave said, "Is there anything I can do for you?" I said, "As a matter of fact, my fitness class at the VA has requested you to come and play tennis with them, as there's also a tennis court on the VA grounds."
Yeah.
Dave says, "Sure." I call him on Tuesday night and say, "Dave, we did talk Tuesday night. Oh, yeah, that's right. I got your class tomorrow." Then on Wednesday, which was the day of the class.
I actually thought it was Monday, but go ahead.
Anyway, at 12:15, I text and say, "How's the class? What happened? Did you miss the class?" And I get a text back in caps, CC, that says, "OMG. Dave asked me could he help and abandoned my class, didn't call, they had no idea, and the one sweet little lady in my class."
Okay, we get it.
No,
we
dude,
get it.
I want to serve you the bone.
I'm in the doghouse.
Okay, yes.
But let me just give this legitimate excuse. Our producer, Ross Vanelli, had just one day he was leaving town. He says, "Please come to the studio because this is the only time we have to make sure we have everything in order for the release of the project. We're getting close to the end. We got to make sure we have everything." And I said, "You know what? I'm not doing anything today." I just went straight to the studio.
Now, do you see why he's in the doghouse? He even said he's not doing anything today.
I agree. I belong in the doghouse.
Dude, this is
the first time that you'll ever hear me say this because Marla really...
No, you put yourself in the doghouse last year.
Marla wears the doghouse. Actually, her hairstyle is kind of like...
Let me say this. It is so anticlimactic for me to be able to slam the door on you and you just shut it and whimper and go in the doghouse like a puppy.
Anyway, I do apologize. The VA ladies, I love you guys, and I'm going to come back and play tennis with you soon. Anyway, that's the doghouse. We're going to have to keep it moving.
Tracy Terrell, go ahead.
What's the action? You'll laugh. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll get mad. Shut up. You'll get happy. But you won't be bored. This is the Marla and Dave radio show.
Tracy, we need to get the atomic dog. We need to get that. But anyway, so CeeDotCee, you asked a question before we went away, and you asked about the difference between tough love and nurturing love. You know,
she said, "What's more important?" I think that was the question.
That's a question that can't be one or the other. It always is going to be a combination of the two, and it's based on the child. You want to. Sometimes, depending on what's needed, tough can either be inspiring or breaking. In Monisa's case, I'm going to be totally honest. Monisa's probably, she could even say I was inconsistent because I've been such a chameleon through the 28 years trying to get through on any way, shape, form, or possible that I've not landed yet. So the reality is now at 28, I'm just getting to the point of I have to tough love myself. And it's time for me to really let all the way go. And what I'm learning is either there's a lot of victims in your generation or there's a lot of chip on the shoulder people. I'm being dead serious. Because if you can't understand that Monisa's 28 and she's made these choices and decisions on her own, then you want to live with the chip. And to me, accountability is the first understanding and process to growth. No one grows outside of who they are without first understanding yourself, number one, and then being accountable for who you are and the choices you make, especially as an adult. There's no more raising Monique. She's 28. Yeah. I don't think you guys hear me. She's 28. That means almost 30. I'm almost 50.
She's halfway to retirement.
Right, Mimi?
Anyway, I'll put it to you like this. As any parent knows, and which is, I'm glad that you have the question because it says that, you have your priorities straight. You're not a parent yet. I'll put it to you like this. All parents will do whatever it takes, whatever the situation calls for. Mm-hmm. If you think that the child will be best helped, a good parent, I should say, with sort of the lovey-dovey sort of approach, then so be it. If you think the child needs something a little tougher, so be it. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, there are times when parents get frustrated too. You know what I'm saying? And I tell all parents all the time that whatever you do, if real, true love is your motivation, you can't possibly make a mistake.
Right. Okay, I'm going to read this.
I tell that to Monique as well. If you keep your child first and real love is your motivation, you can't make a mistake.
Philonda, I see you, but we're going to grab this call. It's better for you guys to call us if you have questions. 323.
Caller, you're on with Marla and Dave and CeeDotCee.
Hi.
Hey, who's this?
Annalise.
Annalise, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Jacksonville, Florida.
What up? Florida. Did you go to FAMU?
Yes.
It's the FAMU contingency.
Did you know CeeDotCee back then?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Wow. She said that like, yes,
yeah,
I did. Her inflection.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I love her. She knows.
So what did you call to chit chat? You got a question? You got a comment? You just called to show some love?
I have a question for CeeDotCee if you don't mind.
But that's why she's here. We're focused. Spotlight, go.
So, what inspired your I Don't Belong to You video? Like the review you did for Keke Palmer's video. Because it was really, you went the mile. And it almost, I didn't even watch the video. I watched your review first, then I watched the video.
Me too. I did the same thing in that order.
Man, I am so inspired by Keke Palmer. She's younger than me, but I don't think there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being inspired by younger people. She's very mature. She killed that song. I've never listened to a Keke Palmer song in my life, but that song,
she wrote it. She did.
That London on the Track. Listen, okay.
The video.
Here she goes. She's about to give us the CeeDotCee.
Listen, so I was just excited, and I only really review stuff when it comes to music and shows. That's why I do Love and Hip Hop, and I don't really do anything else because I actually genuinely like it. So I know if I like it, I'm gonna bring that energy on camera. It's gonna, portray. People are gonna love it. So that's what inspired me. But yeah, she killed it.
Dave, do you know who CeeDotCee, who Kiki is?
Of course.
What is she famous for? Being who?
She's a singer.
No, Akilah and the Bee. She's an actress.
That I didn't know.
Oh, You're just worried about yourself and your own 10 Grammys, right?
No,
okay.
no.
Shutting that mic down.
No, but I did love that. Wait, she's the girl?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't put the two and two together.
Because you weren't probably even looking at her face, were you, Dave? You saw the video.
Well, I just want to tell CeeDotCee that I'm proud of her and I love her and keep doing what you're doing.
Love you.
Thank
too.
you so much.
Thanks for listening.
FAMU
Tune
the
in
house.
again. All right. So yes. So that she I'm glad she called because that is one of the questions. You weren't getting out of here before we asked that question as well. Your inspiration as to how you decide how to approach the review. Mm-hmm. So you saying that you first have that like or affinity for something and then it's born. Mm-hmm. So you haven't done all the Love and Hip Hops, just Hollywood.
Just Hollywood. I'm from LA, so I'm familiar with all the places. That place where who was that? Nia and Nas, where they had that fight at the GS bar. I frequent that bar sometime. Very ratchet. If you want to get your ratchet dance on, go over there.
There's a ratchet dance.
It's real ratchet over there in Inglewood. But yeah, only if I like it, because a lot of times I can do Real Housewives of Atlanta. They want me to do Empire.
I saw that.
Wow,
yeah,
someone's asking you right now to review the Vivica Fox 50 Cent.
Yeah, so everybody, they want me to chime in, but I have to feel it.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to be fake. It's going to be fake.
I get with that.
And I'll be putting on.
All right, we have another caller. We're going to get to it right quick.
All right.
Calling, you're on with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee.
What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, it's Lavetta from Nashville.
I'm sorry, can you say your name one more time?
Lavetta.
Lavetta, how are you? Where are you calling from?
Good, how y'all doing? I'm calling from Nashville.
Nashville, Tennessee.
That's
what?
where we're
the
from.
615. What's going on, Lavetta?
Nothing much. My question is for CeeDotCee.
Lavetta, what's up?
What's up? I was wondering, how did you come to work with Chrisette?
Chrisette. Oh, Rich Hipster. Shout out to Rich Hipster. Instagram, social media is so powerful. I talk about that all the time, and I really think people are very asleep when it comes to social media. But long story short, she was promoting her album, The Lyricist Opus, and she was having fans repost pictures of the album with the hashtag, and I was one of the fans who got picked. And then the incentive was to have a pizza party. So I met her. We got to talking, and I said, I just graduated. I do videos. She was like, okay, keep in contact with me. She gave me her email. I made a video about that day, just vlogging, I met Chris at Michelle,
doing your thing,
whatever, and I sent it to her. I said, hey, Chris, check this out. I had a good time. Thanks for coming out, right? I didn't think she was, I thought she was going to be like, hey, well, this is nice. Thanks. This is nice, cute. And goodbye.
Yeah.
And she hit me back and she was like, this is really dope. Would you like to vlog for my team? And I was like, absolutely. When, where, what do you need? Absolutely. Right now? Okay. So that's how I got in contact with Chris at Michelle.
All right.
Wow.
Well, and
that's awesome.
And see, Dave, that's why you need to remember your password. Nobody's going to hook you up
because
you don't even know how to get on your Facebook.
When y'all see you being admin, hey, it's me. Very cool.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
There's a question. It's always easier if you call us, but Philanda a while ago wrote in all caps. She says, I kind of figured it was a backstory like this. I went through this with my parents and my son. Moniece will get it together when her son comes to her and starts asking her questions, and it happened to me, and I took control of the situation and start putting my son first, and I grew up, we both grew up together. Now my son is in college at Dillard University in New Orleans, and he's doing great. Nice. My parents and I are partners along with his dad. Nice. Well, that is the story that I pray for. And like I said, I think that Philanda, the first thing that jumps out at me, which unfortunately Moniece has not taken the first step yet, which is to actually be accountable, to say I need to change, and that's what we pray for.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. The Bible says, train up a child in the way he or she should go. When they get older, So maybe Moniece has a couple of years,
Like 60.
and then
When she's 60,
she'll fall
she'll be
into
right
it.
there.
And she's starting to get herself together. As long as she can get that chip out, I'll put it to you like this: whenever you're defensive about anything, when someone's trying to teach you something, that defense is actually a wall that actually keeps the knowledge and the understanding from penetrating into your own understanding. And so when you can let that chip off your shoulder, sometimes if Marla tells me something and I have a chip on my shoulder, she could be right, which is very not usually the case.
Okay, that's
but
why he's
she
in the
could be
doghouse.
right. But it keeps me from understanding what she's saying because I really don't like the way she's talking to me.
Right.
That could be the presentation that I don't like. That doesn't mean that what she's saying isn't true. And when I can let that defense down and say, well, is this true or not? If it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't.
Yeah. And so there you go. That's one thing. And the next thing is, I'm going to just say this. I'm going to comment to last week's show. Mm-hmm. Really, Moniece? I snatched you and ran off and got married.
Right. What about that?
She said, and then there's that.
Yeah.
Moniece knows that's not true.
Well, I'll say this. Moniece, again, that's one more out. Moniece's biological father and I had Moniece when I was 19. He was 22. He's local. Lives in the Long Beach area. He's so private, we generally don't include him even in a conversation. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of today, I'm going to transparently do that. As immature young people, our communication was horrible. He actually wanted to stay in the relationship. I did not see that as my future. So the only thing I needed out of that relationship was my daughter. I took my daughter, and David and I have been best friends since we were 6 and 8 years old. We met in second grade. Mm-hmm. So as somebody who was always just genuine and like we were that, my parents got divorced. I came back, and David, I was voted, by the way, least likely to ever have kids in high school. Those of you who think I'm militant and military, but maybe. But the bottom line is I did. And so when I had Moniece, I came back. Dave realized that I had a baby, and he and I ended up getting married when Moniece was 1. Mm. But he was at that point, and my mother sitting here, I said to her, I'm done. Once I left my relationship with Michael, I literally said, it's going to be me and Moniece against the world. Mm. I'm not going to date. Because if someone can't love me as much as, or love her as much as, or more than they love me, knowing that my paradigm can be rigid, so I just would never even accept a date, period. Many people ask. I just wasn't going there. But we were best friends, and we grew up together, so our families knew each other. And so it was an easy transition. So when I married Dave, he raised Moniece from the beginning. And it was interesting because even what I see in Moniece is unfortunate because this is my best friend. And when we were dating and he's sitting right there, I wouldn't let him watch Moniece, and I would go to the store, and it was blocks away. And he would be frustrated, Marla. It's me, and I said, I know. She's just not your responsibility. This is not your baby, and I'm gonna take her to the grocery store and bring her home. So he was like, "You're out of control. Like it's okay. Just leave her. I got her." And I'm like, "No, I'm good." So until we got to that point, I just didn't want her to be exposed to anything that would not be completely nurturing and responsible, and that is the life that she's lived. So 28 years of marriage for us in March. And with then having our son and our daughter. So those things that Moniece is presenting, they're real for her. And that's what makes me sad.
But the thing about it is they're real for her at that moment. Mm. Something else will be real at another moment.
Yeah. Right. And it's an anger thing. But I'll say this as well, and maybe, as you go forward, you can continue. Because, to me, meeting you also makes you kind of an advocate more for the truth. Keep doing your own reviews, though. If I sound crazy, go after me. But let me say this. You got a caller?
Hey, we do.
Okay, go ahead.
We don't now.
Oh, okay. So okay. So let me say this. Today it kind of dawned on me when my makeup was being done today at home that I don't want it to be Team Marla, Team Moniece. It's got to be team unity on some level because I don't want Moniece to feel attacked. Yeah.
Is the caller on the line?
We got a caller.
On. Caller, you're on the air with Marla, Dave, CeeDotCee. What's your comment, question? Give us some love.
Hi, this is Philanda.
Hi, Philanda, do me a favor and turn your computer down for me just a little bit. Did I just spit a little nugget out?
Okay, hang on.
Hey, Philanda, what's going on?
I'm trying to find out
The volume.
Turn this computer down.
Just find a little.
You're like me today, Philanda.
Yeah.
We're having a hard time. It's okay.
You should get
Take your time.
You should let CeeDotCee help you because Dave
I'm
is
just
going to
gonna go in another room.
Okay.
What's going on? What,
Okay, I'm ready. Hey, I've been on the message board and everything.
I see.
We see.
I had to call in because I am a new fan of CeeDotCee.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm old enough to be her mother or a sister, but I am a hairstylist from Detroit.
Nice.
Woo, woo.
Okay.
Motor City.
And by the way, Marla, your hair is slamming, which I just had to tell you that.
Oh, well, thank you to my stylist, Greg Gilmore. I got to give him a shout out. Can't take credit. My mother made my head, but he did my hair.
Okay. Yes, but anyway, I wanted to call in I had to show my girl I feel like CeeDotCee is my girl that I have to talk to every week to see what's going on the show. If I miss the actual show, I catch the reviews and I listen to that, and then I go and watch the show.
Excellent.
Very cool.
Thank
She
you so
just
much.
has me cracking up. I had couldn't sleep one night and just on YouTube, because I'm a YouTube just freak. I love YouTube.
Sure.
And just came across one of her videos, and I found myself laughing. I had stayed up so late watching all of her videos, laughing at every last one of them.
Guilty.
And it was just like, this girl is just off the chain. And
Thank
it's
you.
so real and it's so raw. I'm a fan of the old comics like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, all those greats. And I see something in her that she can be one of those greats as well. And I just want to tell her, well, she can hear me.
There you go.
I'm listening.
that you, honey, you definitely got what it takes. And I definitely see you going really far in this business. And I know what I see in you is that you staying true to yourself.
Wow.
And I'm really proud of what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
that
for-
means the world to
Yeah,
me.
thanks for
Philanda,
calling.
thanks for
Philanda.
calling.
Okay.
All right, we hope to
Bye-bye.
see you here on the Marla and Dave show next week. Don't try to run off when CeeDotCee runs off. I'm just saying. Come back.
Oh no, I'm going to tune in now.
All right,
Awesome.
cool.
I'm kind of new to the technology stuff.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
calling.
All
Now-
right,
now-
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say this. The thing that's most interesting, a couple of things just jumped out. Everybody who's calling is like, I feel like they relate to you so instantaneously as if you're everyone's best friend and they've never even met you.
I mean, that's perfectly okay with me.
That's what's up. That first of all speaks to your soul, what's inside of you, number
and the
one.
truth of what she does. I agree.
And I think you might have actually hit on something that is almost like a new genre. They're comedians who get up and do stand-up. This whole social network comedic approach seems to be your thing.
I think so.
That's what's up.
She got
I love
CeeDotCeeTv has her own lane. What? We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
It's time to play the Marla and Dave Love Game. Here are Marla and Dave to explain.
Yeah,
how
you get to
it
play the
works.
love game.
All right, the Mad Love Game is a game created by Marla and me, and it has the three categories that are seen most impactful to relationships. That is sex. That's right, sex, finance, and
Dave.
communication. It's played by rolling a single die, and the die has the categories as well as the Mad logo. When you land on the Mad logo, you get to choose any category. Or you could lose a turn, and then, we won't go there today. But today, we're going to have CeeDotCee do the honors of rolling the die. Got it? There you
We're about
go.
to see if she's really from the hood. Let's see. It depends on how she warms up this die. Yeah, she got it going, baby. She got it going.
It's going anywhere?
Yeah,
it's
just
on the
anywhere.
table.
Communication. You lucked up. Usually we roll, it lands on sex.
No,
I try
usually
to
Dave
wait
wants
the
it
die.
to land on sex. You have
I
to-
wait the die to land on. I got to do some more filing on that thing to get that thing
Shouldn't
straight.
we ID her before you pull in for the sex card? What the heck?
Okay, here's one. Who values truth more once they fall in love, men or women?
Women.
Marla, would you agree with that? Mimi, would you agree with that?
Men.
Okay, everyone is saying women. Tony, what do you think?
I said men.
Who values
I said
truth
men. I
more
said men.
once they fall in love? Marla says men.
I say men.
Women. The answer, of course, this is Marla's game, so she was trying to give you a hint. Men.
No.
Honest communication is a top priority from men in relationships.
You know why? Because
okay.
No, go ahead.
So I don't understand why it's not a top priority for women. We love the truth.
Yeah, you guys love the truth,
Kinda.
but other things that in the beginning of a relationship seems to be more important.
Well, I think men are more black and white, which is why I would say that. And I think women are actually what we're driven by emotion, which makes us easier to be swayed on some level and let go of fact and hold on to feeling.
Now, I'm going to say this, that the answers or the research for this game came from the PEW, the Pew Research Center. Now, one of the cool things about this game is that when you're playing with a bunch of your friends, there's always a further discussion question for every card. The further discussion question is, does this rule still apply when the truth hurts? In other words, do men want to get their feelings hurt by the truth? I'd probably say no. I mean, the relationship has to be really solid, and the way it's presented kind of matters to a guy, I think, you know. Samar's over there. Do we have time for one more?
You want to get to sex? Just ask a sex question, Dave.
No, roll the die, please. See. Finance. Jeez.
That's
All right. Okay, here's another one. Should a man always pay for a woman when they go on a date?
No.
Okay, now let me get personal. If a guy rolls up on you and he's like, yeah, so what's up? What's up, shorty?
You already presented me in a whack light.
Doesn't matter.
You see that?
She's young.
Hey, shorty, what's up?
Because he said always.
Hello. You're fantastic. Can I take you out? Do you expect if a man invites you out, I don't care, always, if you get an invitation to go out on a date, do you feel like you should pay?
No.
Never. Or sometimes or always.
If you're inviting me, I'm not supposed to.
Isn't that the question? If you get invited out on a date?
Should a man always pay for a woman when they date? Now, that was the actual question.
The operative word, invited.
Okay.
Right.
Operative word.
All right.
true.
So, but still, the answer is tradition seems to hold true on this one. Since it's usually the man who initiates the date, most people feel the man should pay for the date. So we might need to update this game a little bit.
That.
You know what I mean?
Gotta update that wording.
So see, do you ask guys out on dates?
I do not ask. But
so then that would mean that you would never have to pay.
I'm very independent, and I want them to know that I can take care of myself. And if I choose to treat you, then that's my treat. I want him to know.
Oh, it's your prerogative. It's the guy's obligation, but it's your
Philanda
prerogative.
in the chat room says hell yes, and Nicole Harris says no, but he should offer.
Well, that leads to the further discussion question: should women expect that a man pay?
Dave, for you, it's not.
In
just
other words, you just said it though. It's the guy's obligation. It's your prerogative.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? So you kind of expect him to be willing to pay.
Let me say this to all the ladies who are listening to this, and to you, young lady. You set the tone in the beginning. What you start expecting in the beginning, if you want to carry the load for life, or want to be somebody who's expected to carry the load for life, just like we talked about a foundation, to me, how you come into a relationship and what you expect to be, how you expect to be treated, is what sets the bar for how he deals with you through life. When we first got together, I said, I don't care what our issue is, do not ever call me a bitch. Right. I will never be good with that, no matter how mad he is.
That's the Mad Love Game. Thank you for playing with us today, CeeDotCee. You can get your version of the Mad Love Game right there on our website, www.marlandave.com.
What?
Okay, Marla.
My name.
In the Mad Merch, press the Mad Merch tab. You'll see the game right there. We want you to buy it. We expect you to buy it. Back to the show.
David is a thinker.
I never do anything without thinking about it first.
Marla is a feeler.
I basically wear my personality on my sleeve.
But when Marla and Dave get together, it's like a match dancing with a firecracker. This is the Marla and Dave radio show on the Universal Broadcast Network.
All right, it's time for this week's poll question, actually. And the poll question last week was, I guess that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, the last time we were here live.
The last poll question was, what amount of time is too much time between an engagement and the wedding? What amount of time is too much time between the engagement and the wedding? Your options were A, 6 months, B, 1 year, C, 3 years, or D, there's no limit. Take as long as you would like.
Too long to me.
Seems a little crazy.
Anything.
A lot of people weighed in on this one. Marla, you were about to say?
I was going to say, to me, when you get engaged, anything over a year, to me, the point of an engagement is time to plan a wedding. That's it.
People don't agree with you.
It's not a placeholder. I don't care about
people. Don't agree with you.
Clearly, I don't care.
12% of the people said 6 months is too long of a gap. 29% said 1 year is too long of a gap. Most people said 53%, 3 years is too long of a gap.
Yeah, that's just like I want to kind of still figure it out, but I don't want you to go anywhere because right now you're my front runner.
And some of those guys that just don't want to commit, there were 6% of those guys out there.
They said,
they said there's no limit.
Yeah, never wife her.
I'm gonna take my time.
Don't wife her with your
Matter of
junk.
fact, if
Just
you
don't
say
give her
what
a
my
ring.
problem is, the relationship's over.
Yeah. All right, this week's poll question is, and we want you to log on www.marlandave.com all the time, and you can also find us on all the social platforms with The M&D Show. Is Dr. Ben Carson trying hard to compete with Donald Trump's sensationalism with his dramatic stories about his past? Yes. Hashtag monkey see, monkey do.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but in this case, don't make it a black thing. They both are acting like monkeys. That's what I'm saying. Or no, just an open book. So those are your choices. Yes, they're monkeys, or no, he's an open book.
Wow. On that
Don't be
note,
mad. Don't be mad.
www.marlandave.com. Weigh in on the poll question. We really want to hear your opinion on these questions. We're going to get back to the show.
Can you handle the truth? This is modern American dialogue in a mad world from two unique, fresh, transparent perspectives. This is the Marla and Dave Radio Show.
Young Mag 904 says, what up, what up? He agrees with Marla. Team Marla's right? What?
Yeah, no. I saw you jump up there and show your little cleavage out. That's how you
Dave,
get these
you're
guys to
focused
agree.
on all this right here, big boy. It's your focus. This isn't my focus.
Somebody said nowadays you got to ask the question, what happens when same-sex couples go out? Who's responsible to pay then?
Oh. I think that it should be the aggressor, which is why whoever makes the invite.
Whoever makes the invitation
should be the
comes
person
with the
pay. That
checkbook.
means I would like to do something for you to get to know you. I am asking for you to join me, not the other way around.
Well, here's another question. Before we get back to wrapping this up, we're having such a great conversation with you today.
Yeah, because I have something really big to ask her. Big.
Should women ask a guy out on a date these days? Is that appropriate or inappropriate?
I think there's nothing wrong with that.
I used to say it's inappropriate. Now it's not about being appropriate. Again, it goes back to a standard. I see too many unhappy women at my age who took a particular, they kind of strayed away from some of the old school man-woman approach principles, but then they're unhappy later because the things that they thought that they wanted that made them independent, being the sexual aggressor and being and I'm not saying that, but just I'm saying a list of things, not wanting to have children, they get here, which I now call X marks the spot. And I don't care what else you've achieved. Most women I'm finding are uncomfortable with their connections and love relationships at this point. And so you have to go all the way back and realize, are these assertive things we're doing taking away what a man was designed and meant to do, which is really to conquer, hunt, and then become a provider. I think it's his pleasure to provide when he's in love with you.
Okay, we have time for one last phone call.
All right, let's get this call in. Let's get it. What's up? You're on the Marla and Dave Show with Marla, Dave, and CeeDotCee. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Celia Charles.
Hi, Celia.
And hi, how are you?
Good.
Do you have a
Hi,
question or a
CeeDotCee.
comment for
Hi,
Cece?
Celia.
Yes, yes, I do. CeeDotCee is my little cousin, and I did want to say that I'm so proud of her. And my daughter she wants to be in the same type of industry, and she looks up to her, and she's a great role model. But my question is for CeeDotCee. I wanted to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Mm-hmm. You know, people sometimes ask me all the time, do I have a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan? I don't. I'm where I am today is all because of my faith in God. God has been leading me,
Amen.
and I just follow Him. You know, Many people saw my Faith on Fleek video. That story is very true. I used to be on struggle mode, fresh out of college, switching jobs, and I just really had to turn to God, and He has just really been leading me to the door. I'm learning that He'll lead you to the door, but you got to get the key. You got to open it.
You got to take the step.
You got to turn it. You know what I'm saying? You got to walk through, but He'll lead you to it if you believe in Him. If you let Him into your heart, and really just believe in Him. So I don't have a 5-year plan, but God is my 5-year plan. How about that?
Hey,
Amen. I just want to add one more thing. I think that you are good behind the scenes and on camera. So either way, you got it going on. So God's going to work it out.
That's true.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling us.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
So
Good
I'm gonna piggyback on that, and what I wanted to ask you before you got out of here is, or we get out of here, is if you had a wish list, what would be the next thing that you would hope or wish to do as CeeDotCee? So, like, I have a guest wish list, a list of people that we want to come on the Marla and Dave show. We've already gotten through half. So, what would be on your wish list? Anything on your mind? Your imagination can run wild. Where would you like to be? What would you like to do next?
I want to be one of the top comedians in the world, whether that be on the internet, TV, movies. I want to just be able to touch and heal the world with comedy, with the gift that God blessed me with.
All right. Well, see, there you go. So that is awesome. I see that as being very possible. Honestly, I think that you're phenomenal. Your spirit is phenomenal. What, Dave?
Hey, I have a question. A lot of young people, and I think this might be attributed to the fact that you're so good at what you do. A lot of people, I don't think they're as gifted when we do some of those reviews that they do online. Sure. What advice would you have for somebody who's trying to follow in your footsteps, and how can they turn that into not just something that I do on my iPhone for fun, but something that I can get paid to do?
Well, I say let's just say for YouTube,
okay.
If you want to start a YouTube channel.
Okay.
A lot of people think about equipment. What cameras do I need? What things do I need? Don't think about that. Really just concentrate and hone on the skill and tell the story. I'm all about storytelling. When I do my reviews, the story's already written, clearly.
Right.
But I'm still retelling the story in my own way. So just try to find that uniqueness about yourself and really try to portray that on camera. And I really think that's why people can feel like they can relate to me. They feel like I'm their best friends because I bring out my uniqueness. And there's only one you.
Right.
So be you.
And on the last review, by the way, you said I was talking to Moniece like she was my employee because I am her boss. I am her boss. I'm just letting you know. No, I have to ask you this. One of the ones of this year so far of Love and Hip Hop, when you were telling the story of Miles and Milan and Amber, and you ran.
Yeah.
Did you do that by
Into the
yourself?
parking
Because
lot.
usually you're in your kitchen. Did you work?
I literally took the camera, put it on the sidewalk, stuck it in fences, ran.
Wow.
And
see, guys, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's the kind of no quit creativity that you need. Right quick, there's somebody else in the chat room who said, "Can I get a 19-08?" See, I knew she would know what that. They got some secret language going on here.
No.
It's secret.
Well,
Secret
here's the last follow-up to that question. So that young person now has the content and they understand what's important. How do they turn that into actual making money?
Well, going back to YouTube, you can always monetize your videos. That's what I do.
And is that lucrative?
Very.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
You asked that question? You don't see all that bling on her shirt? What's wrong with you? You can't see?
You know,
she came in there with so much shine. I'm like,
It's about these kids. How can I help these kids? Anyway, well, first of all, thank you. You are amazing.
Thank you.
And you are already one of the best comedians out there. Everyone just hasn't heard of it yet.
That's okay.
And they will. And when they do, boom.
And I'm letting the public know that we will now be featuring on the Marla and Dave page. I know that we're old school, we're Facebookers, but that's where we have our, goo gobs of thousands. And so for us, we want to be sure that if you never even ever watch a Love and Hip Hop, we're cool with that. But don't miss a CeeDotCee TV review ever again in your life. And you can find it on our site as well as her YouTube channel.
CeeDotCeeTv.
Right.
Boom.
And find us here every Monday night. Even if we happen to be out of town, they're great shows we've been on for quite a while. Lots of things to see, lots of stuff to hear, lots of laughs to have, and lots of serious moments to share. Make sure that you're here every Monday from 6 to 7:30 p.m.
We are navigating the mad world of relationships
from inside of ours, along with Tony.
There you go. And today with CeeDotCee. Anyway, thank you again.
We're Marla and
Thank
Dave.
you guys
See you
again.
next
See you
week.
next week.